Turning now to New York Attorney General Letitia James. Do you remember when she said this?
No one is above the law, including this illegitimate president.
No one is above the law. No matter how rich, powerful, or politically connected you are, everyone must play by the same rules. As I've said before, no one is above the law, and I will not hesitate to uphold the rule of law and protect New Yorkers.
Well, maybe she should look in the mirror. Trump's DOJ now accusing Letitia James of mortgage fraud.
She insisted that these technicalities matter and that the powerful should not be given a free pass. Well, that bill has come due in this case. She's going to have to deal with this filing. I'm honestly just not sure how you defend against this unless you say that these are fraudulent documents.
But now James is so desperate for cash that she launched a fundraiser this week and is asking for up to $18,000 per person. Oh, man, she's an expensive date.
She's hitting Kamala Harris territory, $25,000 a plate.
So let me go to the legal eagle here on the panel. She allegedly filled out a form where she claimed that her dad was her husband. All of these other documents exist. She also said that Donald Trump, in the prosecution of Trump, is responsible for every document, even if someone else is acting in his behalf. Take it away, Lydia.
Yeah, you know, I think you reap what you sow, and she has dug herself a hole here, it seems, because this case that the Trump is being referred to the Trump DOJ seems very straightforward with these mortgage application documents. She essentially represented that her father is her husband, that her primary residence would be in Virginia at one of these homes that she wanted to acquire, that her building in Brooklyn had fewer apartments than what it actually does. All of this, the criminal referral suggests, is to obtain more favorable terms on loans. The irony could not be more rich in the case against, when you compare it against what the case that she brought against former President Trump. And let's remind everyone what she did. She took an arcane old consumer protection statute, twisted it in a way that had never been used before to prosecute him in a case where there were no victims. No one came forward in that trial to testify, hey, I actually lost money or was defrauded in any way whatsoever. That trial was decided not by a jury, but by one single judge. And then when President Trump wanted to file an appeal, he had some issues getting a bond. He finally got a bondsman from California to offer the money to secure him the right to appeal. Letitia James's office went after that bond to try to prevent him the right and opportunity to appeal. So, you know, it seems like she went after him with every last bullet in her arsenal. And I shouldn't say that. That was poor choice of words, right? I'll admit that. But she went after him with everything that she got. But you know, this case that has been brought against her at this moment seems to be a lot more straightforward, and it's now up to Pam Bondi as to whether or not.
If we had more time, I'd want to get into the appellate court argument coming up when it comes to Trump. But she responded, Nicole, and I'll take this. Let's play this. Her response to the allegations of mortgage fraud.
The allegations are baseless. The allegations are nothing more than a revenge tour. I will not be silenced. I will not be bullied. I will not bend. I will not break. And I will not bow to anyone. I am more focused again on standing up for the freedoms, the liberties, and for the rule of law in the state of New York.
You know, she says that it's not, that it feels like a revenge tour. And you know what? Maybe it does feel a little bit like a tit for a tat. But she's the one who said herself, no one's above the law. She said it many, many times. We heard it over and over again. And at the end of the day, I was exhausted from those lawsuits. I'm probably going to be exhausted from hearing about this one. But as she says, no one's above the law. And, you know, you reap what you sow. And in the words of toddlers everywhere, she started it.
Well, and let me take something Lydia said and toss it to you, Raymond, if I may, in this way. She did get a favorable rate. No one lost money, and they said they would do more business with Donald Trump. Raymond?
Well, the problem with Letitia James here is this. She claims in that video, I'm protecting New York law. Actually, you're in violation of it because as AG, you're supposed to live in New York State, not in Virginia, which she claimed on that document was her primary residence. So right there, she's in violation of New York law. Look, when this whole lawfare thing started against Trump, I was the first to say this is going to lead to a cycle of recrimination like a banana republic, the likes of which we've never seen, because they're finding little tiny threads of a statute and turning it into nooses. This is a horrible precedent. I don't like to see this, but the fact is she's obviously in violation of the law.
The difference here is others have been prosecuted for this very same issue.
Absolutely.
By the
There's
department.
precedent
The
here.
difference here is precedent in law and convictions do exist for this.
And an entirely another topic is how is she affording all these properties on her salary?
$18,000
We don't have time for that, but that's
And she owns an apartment complex. Pretty good.
Expensive.
Yeah, politicians get richer. That's a whole other story.
wonder
Maybe
why.
that's an hour we can do. Coming up, is comedy shifting to the right?
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.